Good morning, children. How are you all? I'm Radhika, your biology teacher at Dr. Basin School. Hope you all are fine, safe at home, staying at home, and you all are safe. So, see, it's been a very nice journey that we are going through. Okay, we have been sending the videos to you all. You all are watching the videos. This I can say very proudly that you are watching the videos from the live interactions that we have been regularly having. Many of you students have shown lot of interest. You are regularly watching the videos, doing all the works and sending the feedback to us. At the same time, you are really religiously joining the live interactions and speaking to us, answering our questions. Okay, and also you are asking the doubts us, and really very happy for that. That kind of interest only we teachers want, and for the hard work that we are put in, it's really nice from you all children. So in the till now what we have completed till now the third chapter, that is transportation in the living organisms, and I had started excretion. The next topic as part of the life process is excretion. So in the previous video of excretion, we have studied how we can identify that there is some problem with the human beings, with us, with our body. How we can? Can you remember? Yes, by the color, by the blood sample and the urine sample. Okay, so when it is taken, they see the different components. If something is excess, something is low, they are able to identify that there is some problem with the body. So, just like the circulatory system, the excretory system also equally plays an important role. And in the previous video, I had also told what is the important excretory product in the body. In our body, what is it? It is, yes, urea, and that is formed from ammonia. All that I had told in the previous video. Okay, and the main excretory organs also I had told briefly were that of kidneys, isn't it? So now we know that the main excretory organ in human beings is kidneys. Now apart from kidneys, are there any other excretory organs in the body or not? Do you agree with me? Yes. So in the ninth class also we have studied. Can you recollect? In the first chapter also we have studied. So if you relate like that, we can identify many more excretory organs that are there in the body. Not only the kidneys and the urinary system or the excretory system. Along with that, there are some more organs which play an important role to excrete the waste substances from the body, waste substances or the poisonous substances from the body. There are other organs also involved. Can you suggest some of them? So here in this video today I am going to teach about the other excrete pathways for excretion. How other organs in the body are helping for excretion. Okay children. So we shall start with that. See, in the textbook if you observe, after these tables it is not given. Okay, after these tables, he has directly gone to the excretory system in human beings. But first, I would like to explain about these excretory organs so that you will understand everything very well easily. So that is page number 84. You can take out page number 84 and 85. If at all you got the textbook, all of you have got the textbook, notebook, running notes with you. Okay, and all the stationery, as I always say, you have to keep all those things. If at all you have not got, please go and get them now. Please pause the video and please get them now, so that you can continue watching and carry out all the work that is there along in the video. Okay, so here we can see the other excretory products and other excretory organs. Among them, the first one I would suggest is lungs. Okay, it is lungs. Okay, children, the first one is lungs. The next one is skin. First, I write all the names, then we can go skin. Do you remember we have studied in the ninth class? And I told that whatever till now we have studied, from that only we can recollect and see what are the other excretory organs. Among them, lungs. Which chapter we have studied? We have studied in the second chapter in respiration. There we have seen that through the lungs, what is excreted? Carbon dioxide, isn't it? Similarly in the skin. Later we shall discuss about each one. What else can you say is the excretory organ? Liver, very important one. Okay, just like the kidneys, liver is very, very important excretory organ. Apart from this, what else could be the ones? Then the large intestine. Okay, the large intestine. Okay, next one. After the large intestine, can you say anything else? Do you remember? What it could be? The eyes. Okay, the eyes also play a very important role as tears or tear glands. Okay, so like this we have seen what are the other excretory organs apart from the kidneys. We can see the lungs, skin, liver, large intestine, and the eyes. Okay, so now about each one we shall discuss. Okay, so first one we shall see what are the excrete products. So if for your convenience you can write here what are the excretory organs and what are the products. If you write like that, it is very easy for you to learn for the examination, for preparing your notes. With one glance you are able to understand all the excretory organs and their products, because this is a very important 1 mark or 2 marks questions or in the bit. So half mark they can ask or 1 mark. Generally they would ask for 1 mark or 2 marks question about the other excretory organs and their products. So here I would give this the column as excretory organs. Okay, so you can note down like this in your running notes. These are the excretory organs and these are the excretory products. Excretory products. Okay, children, like this we can write. Easy for us to understand. So among them, the first one I will discuss is lungs. So in the second chapter in respiration, we have studied that there is exchange of gases in the lungs. That is carbon dioxide and oxygen is exchanged between the alveoli and the blood capillaries. So the blood capillaries would be giving carbon dioxide that is collected from the body as a waste, respiratory waste, isn't it? All the cells would be undergoing cellular respiration, wherein the glucose is broken down to produce carbon dioxide and ATP and water. All these three things are produced during cellular respiration. So that carbon dioxide is collected by the blood cells, okay, and it is carried to the lungs. In the lungs, actually the exchange occurs, okay, between the capillaries. So from the capillaries, the alveoli would be taking up the carbon dioxide and release outside the body while we exhale. Do you remember? All this we have studied in the second chapter. So we see that the excreted product in the lungs, can we write here carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is the excretory product. Okay, next. So that is the excretory product by the lungs. The next one is skin. Okay, so what is it? In 9th class we have studied about the skin as a sense organ. Do you remember we had studied about the sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. In that we have studied the structure of the skin. In that we have studied about the different products it releases. What are those products that it releases? Even without that also, it's a common thing that we can see that we regularly produce sweat. So as part of sweat, what is it? It produces lot of water to maintain the body temperature. All that we have studied in 9th class. I will not go in detail about all that. So it produces water and different types of salts. So that forms sweat. Along with that, it also produces another substance. What is it? From 8th class I am telling. What is it? It's more in the adolescence I have been telling also. What is it? That is sebum. Okay, very good. So this sweat and sebum. So it releases sweat. The skin releases sweat, water plus salts, water plus salts and sebum. Okay. So these two substances are released by the sebaceous glands and the sweat glands that are there in the skin. So what could be there in the sebum? Different types of waxy substances and the sterols and hydrocarbons. Waxes, sterols and different types of hydrocarbons we can see. Okay, so these are the things produced by the skin. Okay, next we shall go to the liver. So I just write it below here, otherwise it not be very clear. Okay, I rewrite again. So under the skin we shall go to the third one, that is liver. Okay, what is produced in the liver? Okay children. See, here liver is the excretory organ. So, how does liver play an important role as an excretory organ? One of the most important excretory organs, as it has got many activities apart from what is it that we have studied in the first chapter. Production of, what does it produce? Bile juice, isn't it? It produces bile juice for the emulsification of fats. That is one important role that is there in digestion. Apart from that, what else does it do? It can actually, it has got different roles, like first one is that it helps in the breakdown of RBCs. In the previous chapter and in 9th class also we have studied what is the lifespan of RBCs. Yes, it is 120 days. So every 120 days the RBCs are changed. Okay, so new RBCs are formed. So for the RBCs to be broken, okay, that they are taken to the liver. Here in the liver, the RBCs are broken, or we can say it's just like a recycling process. So what happens to the RBCs in the liver? Okay, they are broken, and what RBCs contain? What is that protein that is there in the RBC for carrying the oxygen? Yes, it is hemoglobin. Okay, so it is a protein molecule. What happens is that this RBC containing the hemoglobin molecule, it reaches the liver, there it is decomposed. From that the hemoglobin is taken and it is broken down further. Okay, and it is broken down into three parts: bilirubin, biliverdin and urochrome. These three parts. I will be writing all that. Okay, so here what happens? First one is that, okay, here RBCs are broken. Okay, after every 120 days. Okay, after every 120 days this RBCs are broken down, or we can say the metabolism of RBC will occur. So this RBC, what they contain? They contain hemoglobin. Okay, this you can write in the side in the running notes. Okay, hemoglobin is decomposed to release, it will release bilirubin, it will release bilirubin. The next one is biliverdin. Okay, biliverdin and urochrome. Urochrome. Okay, now this urochrome that is there, this goes to the kidneys. Okay, and it is excreted as urine. Okay, and it also gives the amber color. Later again we shall be discussing amber color. That straw colored you can see in the urine, that is because of the urochrome. One important bit. Okay, then this bilirubin and biliverdin that are there. Okay, these two together. Okay, the bilirubin and bilirubin, these two together will go to the, they form the part of the bile juice. Okay, and they are excreted along with other substances, like extra drug is there, vitamins are there, okay, steroids are there, hormones are there. With all those things, these are excreted. So what happens? So the first role of the liver is that it will help in the recycling of RBCs. Every 120 days new RBCs are formed. So at that time, from the RBCs the hemoglobin is broken down to release three substances. They are bilirubin, biliverdin and urochrome. What are they? Bilirubin, biliverdin and urochrome. Now this urochrome is excreted through the kidneys in the urine, and the straw color of the urine is also because of the urochrome. Okay, now this bilirubin and biliverdin, okay, they form part of the bile juice. Okay, and they, along with that, they also excrete other substances like the steroids, hormones, extra drug. Extra drug means here medicines that we all take. Okay, so they are also, that metabolism will occur in the liver. So whatever excess amount of medicines are there, day, and along with that vitamins. I always say that we cannot have the vitamins once in a week or once in 1 month or so and leave the rest of them. Whatever vitamins we are taking every day, that must be taken on regular basis, because whatever extra amount of vitamins are there in the body, they are thrown outside. That means they are excreted. So here excess amount of vitamins are there, steroids, hormones, extra drug, okay, and along with that we also see the excretion of bilirubin and biliverdin. So like this, the first role the liver plays is excretion, okay, of these three substances. Okay, children. So here I just rub this part. You just can write this down like this also. It's not a problem. Okay, for your understanding, you can write. Okay, excreted as the bile juice. This bilirubin and biliverdin is excreted as bile juice. Urochrome is excreted by the kidney. Okay, as urine. So if you have noted down, shall I rub it off? Okay, just give 1 minute, please. Right, I will rub it off. Okay, children. So I am just rubbing it off. Okay, here I will further write about the liver, the other function of the liver. Okay, so here liver is there, the same thing I am going to continue here. So the second point here I am writing. First one we have seen that how the RBCs are like broken down, hemoglobin is broken down and it releases these substances. Apart from that, it also has an important role of urea formation. Okay, how does this urea get formed? The main wastage in our body is in the form of urea that we have already studied. Okay, how is that urea formed? Is very important. Why I am talking about the urea? Okay, see the excretory product as urea is very important. In the previous video also I have told that the animals excrete the waste products in the form of ammonia. Okay, ammonia. And how does the ammonia come? The ammonia comes from the protein molecules, isn't it? So we have got so many protein molecules, a variety of protein molecules like the structural proteins and functional proteins, all enzymes, hormones, vitamins, and similarly the structure of all the cell membranes, all the membranes of the within the cell. Similarly, you can see the nitrogenous substances to be present in the DNA, RNA, all these. So majority of it contains nitrogenous substances, and these nitrogenous substances are excreted, are broken down to release as ammonia. So important nitrogenous substance what is there in our body, I'll give one example, that is proteins, and here I am writing for your understanding, proteins, and you can say nucleic acids, isn't it? So here few only I am writing, like the proteins, nucleic acids. So these, what happens, the nucleic acids or the proteins, they contain ammonia, isn't it? They all contain ammonia, it's compulsory. Okay, NH3 is there. So what happens is, when these are broken down, okay, the proteins are decomposed. When they are not needed, what happens? They are broken down. And they are broken down to release amino acids, isn't it? They are first released as amino acids. Okay, so these amino acids in turn will release ammonia. Okay, the proteins would be releasing amino acids. If it is nucleic acids, wherever they have the nitrogen, okay, that could be released. Okay, so here we see, here we are talking about the proteins. They will be releasing the amino acids that in turn contain ammonia. So this ammonia is released. It's very important fact. Okay, the proteins are releasing, here again I am writing very clearly. So the proteins would be releasing amino acids. Okay, and these amino acids are releasing ammonia. But this ammonia is highly poisonous. Okay, ammonia is highly poisonous. It cannot be stored in our body. Okay, because it is highly poisonous, the cells will get affected immediately, so it should be immediately thrown away. And it needs lot of water. But since we cannot afford to have so much of water, we have seen in the previous video also that the animals have adapted to have different types of urines. Okay, so the urine that majorly contains ammonia, okay, that will be a monotelic. So which animals could be having that? All the aquatic animals, fishes, because they continuously live in the water. So there is lot of water available for them So with the help of that, they throw the excrete it in the form of ammonia only directly. So the proteins are broken down into ammonia, and amino acids would be releasing the ammonia, and this ammonia can be thrown out of the body easily by the fishes. But as we go to the higher animals, the reptiles, mammals, apes, we see that there is water is available very less. Okay, as many of them are terrestrial and they all live in the dry conditions or the arid conditions, or we can say xerophytic conditions. So there the availability of water is less, so they cannot afford to excrete in the form of ammonia. For that, what they have adapted? They have adapted to produce either as urea or uric acid. So whatever ammonia is produced from the amino acids, this could be getting converted into urea and uric acid. So even in our urine, we contain some amount of uric acid also, and most of the urine that we excrete will contain urea. Okay, so what is happening in the liver? This whole process will occur in the liver. So what happens? The amino acids would be releasing the ammonia. This ammonia is converted into urea. I told that urea formation occurs in the liver. So after the formation of urea, it is sent to the kidneys. Okay, then now this will go to the kidneys. Understood? So we see that in the liver, first one is RBCs, and second one is RBCs are broken down to release hemoglobin, that in turn releases the bile and the urochrome, whereas the second one is the breakdown of the protein molecules into amino acids, that in turn would be releasing ammonia. This ammonia would in turn release the urea, okay, and uric acid. So urea, to some extent, it can be stored in the body and it needs lesser water than compared to ammonia. But uric acid does not need any water, very less water. With that, they are able to excrete the wastage from the body. So we can see all these in the animals which don't need much water, like the lizards, so many of the reptiles, as well as the apes. Okay, they don't need water. Without that, they are able to survive. With very less water, they are able to excrete the waste products from the body. Okay, but in human beings, we excrete in the form of urea. Majority of the urine contains urea. Okay, so this is one of another important function played by the liver. Okay, so please, this part you have already noted down, so I just rub it off. Next one I'll write that what is the next excretory organ we can think of? What is the next excretory organ we can think of? It is the large intestine. It is the large intestine. Already in the first chapter we have studied about the role of large intestine. According to that chapter, what did we study? Okay, this is about the liver only. Here I write once again so that you don't have any doubt. Okay. After that, I write about large intestine. Okay, what does the large intestine do? The large intestine excretes excess amount of salts. Okay, like calcium, iron. Okay, and all these are thrown out by the epithelial cells. Okay, the large intestine excess amount of calcium, magnesium, and iron. Excess amounts, whatever is not needed for the body, they are all thrown from the epithelial cells. Excess amount of calcium, magnesium. Again in 7th chapter, already I have sent the videos. In that you have studied calcium, magnesium, and iron. Okay, are excreted through the feces. So this is the role of large intestine, through the feces. Okay, so we see that the large intestine, it also absorbs in the X amount of water we have studied, isn't it? So along with that, it also excretes X amount of calcium, magnesium, and other salts like iron. All these are excreted through the feces. That is the role of large intestine. The last one, can you think of anything else that is there? That is the tears. Okay, tears, that is eyes. Okay, from the eyes, the tears are produced. Okay, so they also release some amount of waste from the eyes. Okay, waste from the eyes and water, and also water. That is what is excreted by the eyes. Okay, then the last one is and also some amount of waste. What are those wastes? That are nothing but the nitrogenous wastes. Okay, these wastes are nothing but the nitrogenous. Then some, and also from the saliva. Okay, saliva also little bit of nitrogenous waste. From the mouth, the saliva would be excreting some amount of nitrogenous wastes. Okay, so we see that all these are the other excretory organs in our body. Like what did we start with? We had started with the lungs. Okay, lungs, skin, then we went to the liver, then large intestine, ears or eyes, saliva. So these all play a very important role along with the kidneys. Okay, so please note this down. Then we shall go to the next part. Okay, all of you have written this, very good. So, all of you have written, very good. So, I just rub it off. Hope you all have understood this one. So, you have to write this in the tabular form in your running notes. You can also refer the gist book, underline that, and in the textbook also see so many questions are given during this whole process. You have to answer those questions. Okay, now we'll go back to the next part, but before that you need to read and be ready. I shall be explaining about the excretory system in human beings. So all of you will have to draw the diagram of the excretory system. Okay, and excretory system, one of the important features. Okay, one of the important diagrams. So that's all for now, children. Okay, you all must watch the video and do whatever work I have given, answer all the questions that are there in the textbook. Okay, so we can continue in the next video with the excretory system. Till then, stay safe, stay at home. Thank you, children.